Amazfit is back with another T-Rex watch, and this is the 6th one I think I've tested. This one's got some really great improvements to it, and a couple new features that I'm surprised that they haven't included them sooner. This is the Amazfit T-Rex Pro 3, and I think you're going to stick around for this one. I'm Chris, Gadgets and Gravel. I was sent this for review and testing purposes. However, neither Amazfit nor any PR agencies are going to get any input on this video or get to see it before you. So with that out of the way, let's get into it. So like I said, this is the Amazfit T-Rex Pro 3. So I've previously reviewed on the channel the Amazfit Balance 2, the Helio strap. So we covered those two devices. Oh, and then we also covered the Active 2 and the BIP 6. So we've covered a few of the devices already on the channel, and the T-Rex line has been one of my favorites I've covered for a while. Between this and the Balance line, I think Amazfit's got a really good grasp on the high end of their devices. And then when we look at the lower end, or not low end, but the more affordable options like the Active and then the budget version of the BIP 6, like they cover a lot of the wearable space and they keep doing a good job. And the T-Rex Pro 3 is really nice. So let's get into kind of some of the design features of this and what this thing can do for you. So out of the gate, it looks a lot like the other T-Rex models that have been out there before. I know they've got a design language established here, and it's nice. I like it. It's good and all that, but I think it's time for a switch up to kind of redesign a little bit, give us a little more flair. They did add a 44 millimeter option this year. So this is 48 millimeters. This is the size they've been for a while, but they do have a smaller option this year, which I hope I can get my hands on because I saw that while I was in Berlin at IFA. I did see a model of it there and it was really nice. I'm curious to see what that looks like. But this is a 48 millimeter. We got a 1.5 inch AMOLED display. That gets really bright. It goes up to 3,000 nits and it is completely visible in direct sunlight. So I'm really happy about that. With this being an outdoor adventure watch built for being rugged and handling the outdoor environments, that's a must. Covering that display, we do have Sapphire Glass, so it's highly durable, scratch resistant, crack resistant, so great covering for that. So we've got that. We've got a touch screen, as you would expect. We also have 4 buttons on the side for navigation. So if your hands you have gloves on, or you got mud on your hands or wet or whatever, having these physical buttons to scroll through pages, select, go back is super helpful to have. The case is a carbon polymer for the case material for durability from that standpoint. And then the frame, the bezel around here, as well as the buttons are grade 5 titanium. So this watch is sturdy. You don't have to worry about damaging this thing. I've beat this thing up. It's been smacked against trees and rocks, and I was cutting firewood, and it's been rock solid through it all. It comes with a rubberized strap. It's a 22 millimeter. This year it isn't attached. In the past, you had a special tool to be able to switch the band out, and while it still has the same aesthetic look as it did before, it's just got a couple little pins to take the strap off and switch out with whatever you'd like. So you can do that if you want this year. They have made that easier on the Pro 3. The big change this year, though, while we've had the buttons for a while, we've had the water resistance and all the good stuff, we now have a dedicated LED on this thing. It is triple, so you can set it up. They have different brightness levels, and it does also have a red light option on it. So we got a dual tone light on this. And you can turn that on by pressing and holding the top button, the up button, or through the quick settings toggle. So you have a dedicated LED flash on this thing, and it is bright. I'm really impressed with that. That is one of the features. I tried that previously on a Garmin smartwatch, and I'm surprised it's taken so long to have this show up in other devices. So I'm really glad that that's here. That's a super cool idea on this watch. Around back, so we've got all of our sensors here. So they have a BioTracker sensor that they use that tracks all of your metrics from your heart rate to your blood oxygen level, VO2 max, HRV, all those things are gonna be tracked with that sensor. We also have got our pogo pins on the back for charging. So instead of just having this typical wireless, it does have the charge points on the back. And thankfully we are using I don't know, we're still using the charge puck instead of having it attached to cable. So this little guy just plugs in any USB-C cable. So while there is a chance of losing it, they're pretty handy. So anyways, magnetically snaps around the back, charges your watch up. In terms of battery, so we've got up to 28 days of battery life on this thing. And that depends, obviously your battery life is gonna depend on how much GPS you're using, how many always on display, how many notifications you get, all that stuff is all going to be factors in your battery life. I've got everything turned on to the fastest, most frequent heart rate tracking. I've got always on display turned on. So I've got everything turned on the best I can. And I got about I think I got 8 days before I had to charge it up, and that was with 2 workouts, and everything turned on, sleep tracking, all the good stuff. So excellent battery life on this. Durability, you've got 10 ATM water resistance, so that's up to 45 meters of depth pressure, as well as your IP69 dust and water resistance and all the good stuff. So this thing's gonna be able to take a beating, handle any environmental issues that you may wanna try and throw it through. It's got a microphone and a speaker, so you can take calls through it, and the speaker sounds good. I've taken calls on it, didn't have any complaints on the other end as far as my voice not coming through clearly, so you do have that on there as well. And it comes in handy also because this has their own version of AI assistant on it called Zepp Flow. They've had it for a while now. We're up to, I think we're on version 2 now, and it works really well. It can be used to set timers, control different functions of the watch, play, pause music, start workouts, so it's really, really nice from that standpoint. When we talk about the workouts, so it can do up to 180 workouts. It does have some automatic tracking of a few things like running, walking, cycling, swimming. Some of those things will automatically be tracked, and you can enable or disable those things if you'd like. But we got it to 180 workouts in this, from skiing, which are also dedicated ski map and ski tracking apps for this as well. But you've got skiing, paddleboarding, volleyball, basketball, tennis, whatever you can think of. It's probably have an app for it on here. It is also the official watch for High Rocks training, so you have built-in training metrics for that if you're into that workout as well. So you have all that in here. Like it's got pretty much everything you could want. Excellent battery life, heart rate tracking sensors, water resistance. It's been solid. So let's check out the app and see what we get to do when we pair it up there. When you go to use the Amazfit app, Amazfit watch, you're going to pair this with the Zepp app. And once you get that downloaded, if you don't already have an account set up with them, you'll just set up your account and then add the device to your account. And it's really easy. You're going to click add device. You'll scan a QR code on the watch. It'll pair it up and you're good to go and off and running. Once you get in there, on the home page is going to be the overview. BioCharge is kind of an all-encompassing score that was introduced when we got the Balance 2 and the Helio strap. We've expanded out to other devices now, and so we've got it with the T-Rex Pro 3 here. So you can see that at the top gives you your initial BioCharge, and that takes all of the metrics it's been reading and kind of puts it in a single score. We can click on the top, and I'll show you that in a moment to dive into it directly. Gives you little things for the day to kind of keep an eye out, way you can improve it, insights into different things. So you got your heart rate, HRV, sleep duration, all that good information. All these things can be clicked on and dive into deeper, see a history across how long you've been wearing it, all that good stuff. Food, if you want to log your food, you can keep track of it all in here. It does have a feature where you can take a picture of your food, and using AI and the image, it'll go through and trying to analyze what's on your plate to kind of help you keep track of your different nutrient intakes. So that's kind of cool there. Heart health, keep track of your heart rate and things like that, steps, calories, stress monitoring. Pi is kind of another all-encompassing metric that Zepp has been using for years now, so you can keep track of that. Weight and all that stuff, I haven't even checked that in who knows how long. So let's go into BioCharge. We can tap in here so you can kind of see where it's been across the last few hours. Like I say, it's all day, but obviously that's we're still not quite all day yet. So you get all the information here, and all this is, you can dive into this as much or as little as you'd like, review your insights. If you accidentally skipped over or skipped it past, you can enter in information as far as, whether you had a late meal, whether you worked out late. So you can kind of keep all that in there to help you kind of see what may be affecting your sleep. And Zepp does have a couple different features and subscriptions, if you want to go into that has different AI features to kind of help you build that up. It does have a coach in here that does not cost to help with your training, to build training plans for you. So it's really, really cool for that. Exertion is going to go into kind of a little bit of everything on your exertion levels. So you can see here are a couple of workouts I've done with the watch. There's a volleyball workout, so it keeps track of your heart rate throughout it. Exercise details, everything in there. Aura is kind of some of the built-in features, the automated features you can get in the app in terms of sleep, exercise, stress reduction, all that stuff is all part of the Zepp Aura. And there's different levels to that. Like I said, there is a version where you can subscribe and get a few extra features if you'd like. We go to the device, and this is where we get to deal with the app or the watch itself and what you can adjust with it. So you have your watch faces. You can see how much charge we have left. I did take a few days off of wearing this. I've been testing another watch. So while it says 8 days ago, 73% left, that's not entirely accurate. But you got lots of watch faces in here. You can, there's some that are free, some are paid. You can go to your own and save and favorite these, so you can switch out watch faces. apps. So while you're not gonna have the same apps that you're gonna have for something like a Samsung Galaxy Watch or a Google Pixel Watch or the OnePlus Watch on Wear OS or the Apple Watch using the Apple Watch and Wear OS or Watch OS, they do have a lot of different apps in here. Like you see up top, you get DJI. So they have some apps that will connect directly to some of your most favorite apps on your phone. But they've got a lot of options in here, from sleep tracking, or not sleep tracking, water intake, health, other different things. So a lot of different options there. Health monitors, we can go in and adjust the different settings for how you want it to monitor your different health metrics, whether it's heart rate and sleep and all that good stuff there. Notifications, you get complete control over what notifications you get. So if you don't want notifications from certain apps, you can turn those off. Device settings, where you can go and adjust brightness. It does have an automatic brightness adjustment, so that 3000 nits will vary based on ambient light around the room, so it'll get brighter when you're outside and darker when you're inside. I do love this has a sleep mode or a night mode, so you can schedule that so at a certain time of the night it will turn, the entire display will be red. I believe you get red, orange, and green are your options. So the whole display will be that, so it's easier on your eyes in a dark environment, so it's really cool. Band lock is if you were to take, when you take the watch off, it'll lock it and require PIN code to pick it up so nobody can go in and look at whatever's on your watch, because it is connected to your phone, right? You can go in and adjust your apps, manage those, readjust them, or reorder them however you'd like. Shortcuts, these are what you get when you swipe, so kind of like your widgets on your phone. So this is kind of how widgets, and it's got just kind of shortcuts and quick glances of a little bit of information of different apps. You can click on those and go into it further. Features checklist, just making sure everything is set up so that your watch is able to access whatever information you need to, whether it's location, weather, so you need your location, SMS, you're going to need notification, you're going to get an SMS access on your phone. And that's pretty much it. General is going to go in here and just kind of the basic information on the watch, but there's not a whole lot going on in the app. Once you get it set up, you're done with the app, unless you want to go, until you want to go in and review your information as far as, sleep, get further insights into that. But you got all the information there. It's really easy to navigate and get through. So I really like their app. So let's dive a little bit more about what I think about the watch and our final thoughts, and then we'll wrap this thing up. Amazfit has been making some of my favorite watches for years now. I've really started to like Zepp OS, which is the operating system that they use on their watches. The last few years, it has really come around and matured a lot. Notifications are great on it. You actually get information on them. Sometimes you can get pictures depending on what the notification's for, whether it's like a notification from a security camera, get a little thumbnail on there. You can respond using your voice or typing on it. So that has really gotten cleaned up a lot, and I really, really like that. The flexibility to schedule things like night mode, schedule, so when this display goes into the all red and things like that, scheduling alarms and when sleep mode starts, all this stuff. They've done a really good job making it all flexible and easy to access. The watch itself, battery life is fantastic. Tracking has been accurate. The features as far as going outdoors and going on adventures, things like that, you can download maps to it and you can set up different points of interest. You can create routes, so a complete loop of wherever you're going. You can download all that for offline, so it's got really great tracking and options for that when you're going to go out and be in places where you may not have connectivity. You can still have maps with you so you can stay safe. We're doing dual band 6-way GPS lock, so that's all been accurate. I really can't say enough about how good this watch has been. I really, really like it. While it is a bit thick and chunky, I prefer the balance as far as its style and fit and feel. But for something that I'm going to be outside and going doing something, I need to know for sure that it's not going to get damaged or broken, and it's going to be able to withstand whatever comes its way and have good battery life and be able to be visible outside and not worry about water. Like the T-Rex line is it. And with the addition of the LED light, the improved brightness levels, the T-Rex Pro 3 it's good. So I'll leave a link for it down below. If you have any questions, make sure you let me know. I'll try and help you out best I can. Got lots more videos coming up. I got some stuff on some robot vacuums. I got power tool stuff coming up. So make sure you like, subscribe, hit that bell icon so you don't miss any future videos. And thanks for sticking around. Look forward to seeing you in the next one.